Hi.
Hi.
I'm looking at your name, but I've never seen that spelling. It's so cool.
Autumn?
No, this. I've never seen that spelling.
Oh, Denise?
With an usually with an S, right? Where's Denise from?
I don't know where she's from, but I know she went to college at U of O.
Cool. I love it. I just like, that's so cool. Okay, so can you introduce yourself for the camera, because we have to do that.
Do you want me to say the...
Yeah, say everything.
Okay. Hello, my name is Autumn Anderson, and today I will be playing the first movement of the Suite by Widor.
Yep, and it's such a beautiful piece, and I'm Tara. It's nice to meet you.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
So just play it.
Sure. I mean, and also if there's like a spot that you're kind of flipping out about, like I know what I flip out about in this piece, but it's this piece makes me but it's like the most beautiful piece, one of the most beautiful pieces for the flute, I think. It's so inspired,
Yeah.
I love this piece. So
It's a very pretty piece.
And have you done the whole thing yet, or you just started?
I have done the first 3 movements. I have not done the finale yet, though.
Okay, make sure that you get the correct addition for the last movement, and also that if you're probably not using IMSLP, right? Because there's a truncated version on IMSLP, and the piano part is different and all like slightly different in a few places. The Henle edition is really good of this one.
All right.
Okay, just so you know, yeah.
I don't really just use YouTube for piano accompaniment.
That should be okay, but I mean, when you do it for a recital.
Yeah.
Are you doing it for a recital soon?
No, not anytime soon.
Okay, but you should totally program this because it's so pretty.
Hello.
Okay. And you also play with you're at the Metropolitan Youth Symphony.
Yes.
You guys, how many orchestras do you have here?
Just 2.
Okay, that's amazing. Okay, Very cool. All right, go ahead. Great, beautiful. That sounds great. You know, you're like a hero because you don't breathe. It's kind of amazing. I take way more breaths than you do. Way more. Is that like a conscious choice, or just because they're not written in, or?
It is a conscious choice. I have worked with my teacher on the best places to breathe.
Yes, yes. But I also find that the piano part is kind of a bear in this.
Okay.
And it's very, very thick. So I wind up playing with a little more power to the sound most of the time, to cut and then so that I can really make a difference between the pianos. The pianissimos. So the way the piece starts is kind of with an ender.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So can you have a little more weight on the G natural? So it's a little more. Okay, now just as we go. Then the low register. Now the only difference with that, they can really hear like the appoggiatura, right? You can really hear the leading tone. Now I want you to connect when you change octaves to the G. So that means you need to move the lips forward and increase the airspeed so you can really sync on the G. Yeah, so you're stopping the air here, then I hear it. Really connect. Does that feel different?
Yeah, I can definitely hear what I'm doing now.
Right. So, yeah, you just really need a lot of resistance when you're doing that. Now, when you're going on, is it an eighth note, 16th? They're real different from the position. So from when I'm playing mezzo piano, mezzo forte, really forward for the top. Good. And actually, try this for 1 second for me. You're going to play this with the sound that you just did, but then here, maybe just a little smoother with less vibrato, actually, so you also don't waste it. But so it has a feeling of being a little more linear as opposed to like fluffier. Does that make sense? We're looking for a little bit more line here. One more time from here. Sounds fantastic. That's right. How do you like that?
It felt different.
Yeah. Also, but I feel like now you're playing with just a tiny bit more presence, which I think is better. It'll carry a little bit better, but also I feel like the sound needs to be well supported. And in piano, when you're blowing less air, it just has to be faster, because that faster air will give you the power you need to go
Forward.
Yeah, to actually have the sound spin forward. So now, then we have a different color altogether. Then this is a little bit more like, you're like, oh yes, everything is fine. And then you think, oh, did I put the stuff out? Like, it's like, oh, what? There's a lot of this like not self-doubt, but there's like this outward feeling of things, and then there's like this sort of like inner angst in this piece. And I feel like the contrast between those two things is really, really important. And so if you can define color and depth of tone as ways of expressing those different kinds of emotions, I think you'll have an even more colorful performance than you do right now. So, and it's very colorful, but I'd like it to be even more overtly opposite as opposed to kind of similar, right? So then here, so there's three different things going on. There's just like and then you know, try that. See, and Yeah, are you supporting right there?
I'll try again.
Yeah, because your pitch is just a little bit lower than where you want it to be. So just slightly faster. Blow like the air. So when you're playing like right about here.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, play. I'll put my hand up when you get there. Right. How does that sound?
It sounds better.
Right. It just sounds like it's more supported, right?
Yeah.
So instead of like thinking like I'm just going to blow the air to here, blow the air beyond the page a little bit, so that there's like pick a point, like when I'm playing, I'm like, I want my sound to go to that spot over there, or like over there, just not here.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's really, really important in this is that concept that appoggiatures are all over the place, is that the weight of the first note is always more than the second. So sometimes you're connecting. And make sure that you taper those. Then here we have the same idea again. That's where the pitch needs to be, not right. So from here. Now darker instantly. Yeah, now this is where I would just be breathing more, right? So, because that's really like you play like 10 or 12 bars at a time in one breath, and I'm like, wow, I'm like, no, I don't do that. But that's just me. So, listening. Like I'm really thinking about depth. Like I want my tone to be really dark and really light and all the stuff in between. And for that I need more air, personally, right? But you hear how I'm like really shaping, like I'm like kind of uber, like over shaping, because it's very, very thick otherwise too. And I just like this inspires me to play like that. I don't know, just me. But can we go from I don't know, here, we didn't do this part, but we started this and then I stopped you here. So, but start there. And every time you play piano, I'm gonna go like this, just to make sure that you're getting there faster, okay? Breathe. Taper. Now, go to the E flat, right? And now. Now start in that color. Yeah, I would start less there. I would still, because you have like two of those phrases, so. Right in the same sound.
Okay.
Right, but again, make sure, like you're looking for something, it's not stationary. So make sure that air is always moving, or I'll make you do that. And it's really hard to do that, actually. And vibrate the very first note. Just vibrate again when you start right there, because then we want the expression to start right at the front of the note and not after you play the notes, right? Stay there. Now let's keep going. Start in that B flat, the same sound. Now interesting. Tape. Now same B flat. Now a little light, vibrate. So. Because now the stuff's gonna happen, big stuff. And make sure that's truly an eighth note. That's okay, one more time just to feel better about it. Start there. That A is really, really long. Hold on, it's really long. So, and if you notice too in the low register to get more sound, I was talking about this, you could move the flute forward to get more air into the low register, just a tiny bit down. That's quite long. It's like yada body. It's a quick breath, and then you have to, and that's why I do add the extra breath. That's me though. Go ahead. You have to negotiate with your teacher. Smoother. Good. Let's do together. Together. 1 and 2. It's that early.
Okay.
It's only a 16th note.
Yeah.
Here again, I'm going to just play with you because you're great, but now because that feels really early, and then everything else is like, oh, am I right? Am I okay? Right? So let's go from here. You sound great. I'm going to play down the octave so we're not both screaming the high register, I promise.
It's nice. Now what do you see how much that, like, so that's a little longer, and then this I think you're playing a little faster because you're just running out of air. Okay.
And that's part of the thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did that help? Mm-hmm. Do you want to do that one more time?
Yes.
Okay. For that fingering now. Wow, you're like really playing all those notes.
Yeah.
I'm a okay. If I can make it easier, I will. Okay, that's sort of my thing, because sometimes the gesture is more important, and sometimes I find that if I'm going from like no fingers to lots of fingers to no fingers again, sometimes it's not so clean. And we have 12 fingerings for a reason, right? I mean,
yeah.
They're like lovely, right? So that gets rid of having to do da da da, like everything to nothing. It's so just flip the second trill key. Right, so we kind of start it right away because you have like 5 notes to play. If you wait too long, then you're really in trouble, right? And then you're trying to do all the fingerings, you're like, whoa, right? And then it doesn't come out the way you want it to, and right? So Start with da-ga-da-ga-da-ga-dee. Ba-ga-da-ga-da-ga-dee is the rhythm of it. Don't hold the D for a long time because you'll be sorry. I'm always sorry when I hold that D too long. I'm like, oh no, I don't have enough time to play it. How about from the F sharp? Does that work? Mm-hmm. So it's C natural. Right, that's right. So it's the lower neighbor.
Yeah.
And this is the picture of it, right? So it's regular note, upper note, lower note, right? That shows you how, like, what notes go in what order, right? That was just so cool. Okay, so that's trophy for that. Then this all works out really, really well, right? So do you need to write that, or you're good?
I think I'm good.
And then toss it. Bring the flute a little bit forward. Do you tongue those?
No.
Oh, I do because they're accented under a line.
Okay.
So I don't. They're not like, but they're they're not like Ian Clark, right? So it's like. Just legato, but. Okay, so they all have that should also probably have a Nachschlag there. Probably should. So. Is what I think. That's what I've heard. So you want to ask your teacher about that one, okay?
Okay.
All right, now go from here. Okay, now you tongue those, right? So.
Tongue those.
Well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you've got like these guys under a slur, what's the difference between those, right? That's just like a question that you want to ask yourself from like a addition point of view, right? Like, what is that? Like, when is this line just a phrasing line, and when is it an articulation? It's very confusing, I think. I think it's very confusing. But okay, so, and if you can, people usually start the vivo a little bit slower, like you did, and they get faster. You could use a little more air at the top, more forte, like your piano is covered, and the thing is, are you playing regular, like long B flat fingering there, right? Because it's really hard, right? Oh, really? Right. Is that what you do? Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, good. I only use it here because I find sometimes if I have it down, then I play everything B flat, and it's like, I think this is really noodly hard. It's really hard. Okay, and this is all the same, so I want to skip ahead because I want to talk about this stuff down here.
Okay.
This is where it gets really hot and heated, like a 1920s like black and white film where there's a big argument and somebody leaves the house and storms out and the woman's like, no, it's got that kind of feeling to it, right? So, right, and then you have. And then there's a moment on that A flat. It's like, there's really no going back. It's just gonna, so if you can do something in your sound. So that they all have turns on them.
Yeah.
So including the first one, which is not marked.
Yeah, I have that.
Right. So let's talk about how you're doing those, because I think they're not reliable for you yet.
Okay.
Are they not reliable for you yet?
Yeah, I only found out about this one like a week ago.
Are you listening to the Boryakov recording, which is, by the way, stunning online?
I don't think so.
You have to listen to the Boryakov recital. First, he plays like his flute is like down here. He's astonishing. He's so great. And I think it's like, must be like a concert in Asia or something. It's really beautiful. And sometimes there's some notes that they play differently because, whatever. But, and some register things that are different in the fourth movement. But, so if you think of the rhythm, and incorporate the rhythm of the 4 pickup note, the 4 turn notes that you have. So you have the first note. So if your technique knows how fast it needs to play and it's organized rhythmically, then you never mess up. It's when you don't know what the rhythm is that your fingers are like, what is going on? What do I do? This is impossible. Just say this with me. Right, now we're going to play. Together. 1 and 2 and ready and go. I'm going to start that one on the E flat. No, on the E flat.
Okay.
Right? 1 and 2.
Wait, from the C or from the E?
Let's go from maybe the pickup.
Okay.
Ta, ho, ta, ta. 1, 2, and ready. You want to play the E flat first. 1, 2, and. That's going to be an A flat because it carries through the. I know, right? Isn't it hard?
Yeah. It's
really hard, and there's like vivo. Thanks, right? Okay, 1 and 2 and. Again, 1 and 2 and. Right, A flat, F sharp because of that guy.
Right.
And the eyes get bigger. Okay, one more time. 1 and 2 and. Make sure you start that on the E flat. You're not used to that, right? So, because basically what you're doing, right, what we need to do in this, what one needs to do in this, is the contour of the shape of the 16th notes and where the notes fall is very, very specific, right? Mm-hmm. So you want the C sort of going, and then we're making the first 4 notes faster. We're incorporating this so you get 4 dugga dugga, and then all the rest of the 16ths are exactly in the correct speed they're supposed to be in. So you don't rush. So when you rush, what happens is then you have less time to do what you need to do as more notes pile on, right? So you want to keep that the integrity of that rhythm really like clean. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try it again. 1. It's really great on my notes. Really hard. 1 and 2 and. Okay, let's go from here, from the G. 1 and 2 and. Right, now you can also do like another way of practicing, which would be let's start backwards. Start here. These from here. C. 1 and 2. Good, now start from here on the G. Ready? That's going to be an A flat, and. One. Again. 1 and 2 and. Good, from the G. 1 and 2. Good, from the E flat, starting on the E flat. 1, 2, and. Now, also, this unit, these 7 notes go together. The pickup is always a half step away from the next arrival tone.
Okay.
So it's a leading tone. Each one of these is a leading tone, right? So the B is a leading tone to the C, which has a turn. The D is a leading tone to the E flat. The F sharp is a leading tone to the G. Mm-hmm. So it's like very nice. It's like, oh, thank you very much. It's tonal, right? Mm-hmm. So let's go from the E flat. 1 and 2 and. Right, now let's go from the C. 1 and 2. Good, one more time. 1 and 2. just have the C minor arpeggio that you're missing there. But.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Right, that's good, that's good. But you see how, what we did just now was we went backwards and we added things so that you're always getting to familiar material. That's another way to practice. Then, once you're finished with that, we're finishing up now. If you need an extra breath, I like to do it before the E flat. I think that's where DeBose does it too.
Okay.
From here. Right, and keep the core of the tone there. Great. Does that help at all?
It does.
Excellent. You sound beautiful.
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah, great to hear you. Great. And thank you for coming.
Thank you for helping me with
Of
this.
course, anytime. And my email address I'll give to you. I'll give to you backstage because there's no pencil here, but I'll give it to you backstage.
Oh, I have a pencil in my pocket.
Oh, you have one? I'll give it to you. And then you can, if you have questions, just or things that are. I have to give this to Diego. Things that are questionable or things that you find out that are interesting, or just whatever. That's my email.
All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, thank you all. Thank you for coming and thank you for playing. And thanks to your teachers who have done such an extraordinary job, really. It's great, phenomenal. Okay, bye.